All right. So this is my first drive in FSD Beta. I'm pretty impressed overall with this whole setup. I think, as you can see, I'm just kind of driving on the highway, trying not to do anything crazy. And that's kind of the best way to characterize what's happening. Um, because I have a Plaid, what I'm more conscious of is the yoke in some of these turns tends to be a little bit too aggressive in certain times, right? So you sometimes see the yoke do an aggressive right and an aggressive left turn. So that's the piece that, for me, it gets a little bit concerning. But it's still a phenomenal experience, as stated in my other videos, and I'm pretty excited overall about this whole setup. So here I'm getting ready to make a right turn. Same thing as most other Tesla owners. You know when you're in autopilot, auto steer, or FSD beta, when the blue indicator of or yoke uh, is highlighted, right? So if you watch this right turn, I let the beta kind of make that right turn for me, but I'm kind of supervising it. As you can see, I grab the wheel from time to time. Actually, for the most part, I hold the wheel and just kind of guide it to make sure it does exactly what I want. So in that turn, the vehicle does it. As you can see, it's slowing down a little bit, but I grab the wheel just to make sure I can react to anything that could potentially go wrong. Because it's a yoke, I'm focused on the sides as far as where my. Okay, so this is the next major turn that I had to make. Now, this area is a little bit different. This is Georgetown. So Georgetown is a pretty interesting place, and I wanted to kind of test this out. And I'll tell you what, for my future tests, I'll probably continue to do Georgetown. So you see, I'm kind of letting the vehicle go, but the awkwardness of the yoke is making things a little bit harder. But the turn actually went pretty well. There were some periods of uncertainty because of other vehicles, but the turn still occurred as I would like one. Here's another area that I thought was interesting to share. So I'm driving through a city street area, right? There's a car in front of me that kind of makes a weird stop. I go around, then the vehicle sees a pedestrian, stops, lets the pedestrian go, and then whoop begins on its merry way. So I thought that was pretty cool to share. So like you saw in the previous right, it was a left turn, which scientists and all kinds of people said will never happen with EVs, but there it go. It happened. So now we're gonna go into the part of my drive that I would say is a good depiction of what FSD looks like. And to be upfront, I'm going to keep doing the test of this area because I think it informs a lot. This was a near perfect drive through Georgetown. I did have to take over a couple of times just for my safety. I'm not counting it, it's just part of driving. Um, but yeah, here we go. So this is like a downhill, very narrow roads, many stop signs. And to me, this is a good indicator for how much better FSD has gotten, right? So as you can see here, I made a right turn, and the car did actually pretty good. In fact, the windows folded because the other car was right next to me. Okay, so as I'm driving, again, another key intersection, very narrow, multiple vehicles, pedestrians. The car stops right where it needs to. It sees another car coming. It moves to the right to let the car go. It moves forward to see if there are any vehicles in the intersection. And it actually executes the crossing the intersection almost flawlessly, and I would say almost at the right pace. Because usually the pace is what either creates friction or makes the process enjoyable. So, stop sign worked out beautifully. Again, pedestrian went around the pedestrian, slowed down. As you can see, pretty tight area. The car's breaking up. I just disengaged the vehicle because I didn't want to even play that game. So I go around for the sake of, the test, but reactivate it to see how it react to this vehicle coming through the narrow road, and did perfectly. Um, let's see. So going to the next stop sign. Again, similar scenario, very narrow. This road should probably be a one way, but it's not. But FSD is actually doing pretty good, and I'm impressed overall. Um, so there are little weird quirks um, that I think inform a lot being an FSD driver. Watch this. Ready? Boom. So FSD saw a car, assessed the width of the road, moved to the right, and then moved to the left. Look at that. Right? So this whole time during this drive, the one major thought that went through my head is FSD is almost the perfect pairing of man and machine. Because personally, when I drive through these awkward, uh, narrow streets, sometimes I get confused and I'm just like, all right, do I go here? Do I go there? But if the car's making a decision and I can supervise, it just felt and hit differently, right? So look at me here. So I disengaged here, knowing that or thinking that I'll be able to manage it better than the vehicle. But when I turned it on, the car did perfectly, went completely around, and then went straight to the intended path. Right. So again, this is in Georgetown in Washington D.C. And like I said, good area I think to improve this beta. Um, yeah. So look at this. Right. So the lane lines are weird. There's vehicles parked. Beta goes around the vehicle and drives exceptionally. Here is a car stopped. Beta sees that the roads are very narrow. All right, this is my final part of the video, and here I'm doing some nighttime driving in the neighborhood. So, Beta is successfully able to make a right turn. And like I said, all I'm doing is supervising the night. The key thing I wanted to show here is speed bumps. So the speed limit is set to 25, and Beta slows down actually for the speed bumps. So as you can see, it's going up 23, 21, 24. And the moment a speed bump is identified at night, it slows down to 19, executes the speed bump, goes back up to speed limit. I think that's pretty promising for the future. Same thing here. Look, ready to 19, speed bump, and keeps going. Yup, autonomy is here. Like I said, the best molding of man and machine. You could almost call it Transformers, robots in disguise. All right, so again, nighttime driving. I'm approaching the stop sign. After this bump here, again, the vehicle slowed down. Pretty easy setup. Beta creeps up to look, and then obviously executes the right hand turn almost flawlessly. Now, in the approach that you're about to see, there is like a really sharp left turn. So what Beta does is it slows down, and then executes that turn, which you're about to see right now. And again, I'm pretty impressed with this because it's nighttime, super dark, and it executes flawlessly. This is where beta messes up a little bit. So to the right, there is a merge lane, and usually I have to like tap on the accelerator a little bit to get beta moving. So what you're going to see here is in the beta, again, I tap, it starts moving, but it doesn't get on the highway. It just kind of stays in that weird lane, so I have to actually manually move it. And, personally, I've submitted like 4 bug reports for that scene because it's that troublesome. The key feature I love in beta again is just being able to go through the lights. It just makes the driving experience seem a little seamless. And because that Plaid is high accelerating, I can just take over at any point and just smile my way through roads. Okay, so again, going through the light, no problems. I'm at the speed limit. What's coming up is going to be pretty wide left turn. It'll give you all an opportunity to see what Beta's got. Like I said, I'm really impressed with this version. It seems to behave almost human-like. And obviously that next update will provide more clarity regarding performance. See, the light is green. I make this left perfectly at night. Now this is exciting. Okay, well, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll post some more videos as new things pop up or as new software versions come out, and I'll try to focus in on the same areas I went to. Again, beta is real, it's happening, and 10.3 is impressive. Have a good day.